all of our lives are ruled by numbers. Whether it is paying your income tax to the government, or total players allowed in a football match, or how much weight you have now than 6 months ago. Numbers have all become an integral part of your life since a long. Well, for that, we'll have to go back in time. Stop. Evidence shows that the first ever numbers or their use was when a 20,000-year-old ancient artifact known as Ishango bone was found in Africa in 1960. This particular bone featured vertical marks in pairs of 5, what we know today as the system of tally marking. Later on, in the 5th and 6th century, the ancient Indian mathematicians Aryabhatta and Brahmagupta invented the unary number system, which consisted of numbers 0 to 9, 0 being the most important one. Keeping track of such tally marks and small numbers was sufficient for individuals and groups to sustain, but essential for them to grow. As society began to form and grow, the numbers became more complex, as trade also became more complex. Hence, in the 16th century, applications of operations in maths were introduced and later adopted. Soon at the dawn of 18th century, the acronym MATHS became globally accepted to solve complex mathematical problems. Since then, numbers have become an integral part of us individually as well as globally. International and statewide trade has been significantly boosted by the emergence of printed money, which again is all about numbers. When trying to figure out which came first, numbers or trade, author of the book Numbers and the Making of Us, Caleb Everett, answers the question by suggesting that the most likely scenario is the one of co-evolution. We developed the numbers, but they were not that important at the time. Trade was done and some of the numbers were used. Trade and agricultural practices became more complex, and that compelled the numbers to also be more complex and evolve as a whole. Now you, as a practical experiment, try to go as long as possible without using any numbers or even thinking about them. You won't be able to. You won't be allowed to watch television as they have numbered channels. You also cannot keep track of time because they have numbers as well. We invented the numbers, but our lives are now shaped around them, fully dependent on them. Numbers are connected to almost everything that we do. We measure years, months, days. We use numbers to count in rupees, dollars and yen. We even consider ourselves old based on a number called age. Today, when everything is quantifiable and measurable, power is given to the one who keeps score the highest. We humans, based on these numbers, have formed governments, traded on stock exchange and evolved as a society as a whole. But as always, over-dependence on numbers can also lead you astray and most probably in debt. Once you learn numbers, which you always would in a society unless you are living under a rock, you can never really unlearn it. You can never really erase it from the brain. They seem natural and innate as a part of our lives, something that all of us are born with. Imagining our life without these numbers is like imagining a ship without a sail.